The containment cell hummed with the low-frequency vibrations that the Zephyrians found soothing, but which had driven countless other species to madness within hours. Commander Zeth-9 observed the small human female through the energy barrier, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence as he documented her vital signs on his neural interface. Subject exhibits unusual resilience, he transmitted to his research team. 14 rotations of psychological conditioning and her neural patterns remain stable. The girl, barely 18 standard years by human measurements, sat cross-legged on the cold metal floor. Her name was Sarah Chen, though the Zephyrians had designated her simply as Subject 7739. Dark hair hung in tangled strands around her face, and her brown eyes held a defiance that should have been broken days ago. Perhaps we should escalate to physical methods, suggested Subcommander Yeth-4, her mental voice carrying undertones of sadistic anticipation. The Zephyrians had built their galactic reputation on breaking the will of other species, extracting information and compliance through precise applications of suffering. Sarah raised her head, meeting Zeth-9's gaze through the barrier. When she spoke, her voice was hoarse but steady. "You want to know about Earth's defenses, I've told you? I don't know anything. I was just a geology student on a research vessel." "All humans possess military intelligence," Zeth-9 replied through the cell's translation matrix. "Your species' primitive neural structure cannot compartmentalize information as efficiently as superior races. The knowledge exists within your organic memory banks." "Then you're going to be disappointed," Sarah said, managing a weak smile. "My brain is full of rock formations and sedimentary layers, not exactly strategic intel." The Zephyrian commander's mandibles clicked in annoyance. In the 3 cycles since humanity had stumbled into galactic politics, they had proven frustratingly difficult to categorize. Too aggressive to be dismissed, too primitive to be respected, too stubborn to be easily conquered. This human exhibited all of those maddening traits. "Initiate Neural Extraction Protocol 7, Zeth-9 commanded. The walls of the cell began to emit a harsh, pulsing light designed to overwhelm the human visual cortex, while electromagnetic pulses targeted specific brain regions. Sarah screamed as the assault began, her body convulsing as alien technology invaded her nervous system. For 6 hours, they tore through her mind like vandals in a library, searching for military secrets that didn't exist. They found memories of university lectures, camping trips with her family, late-night study sessions, and her first kiss with a boy named Marcus. They found her fear of deep water and her love of chocolate ice cream. They found everything except what they were looking for. Sarah's vital signs began to fail as her brain tissue suffered irreversible damage from the neural probes. Her screams had faded to weak whimpers, then to silence. The monitors showed her, heart rate dropping, her brain activity fragmenting into chaos. "Subject is expiring," reported the medical technician. "Continue extraction until all neural pathways are mapped," Zeth-9 ordered coldly. "If the information exists, we will find it." At 14:23 ship time, Sarah Chen's heart stopped beating. Her brainwaves flattened to nothing. The cellular repair mechanisms that kept her body functioning shut down one by one. By every measure known to galactic medicine, she was dead. The Zephyrians continued their scans for another 17 minutes, hoping to extract final synaptic echoes before finally admitting defeat. Subject 7739 had contained nothing of value, just the mundane existence of an ordinary human who had been in the wrong place at the wrong time. They were preparing to dispose of the body when something impossible happened. At 15 Hag ship time, exactly 37 minutes after death, Sarah Chen opened her eyes. Her vitals blazed back to life on the monitors. Her heart began beating with steady, powerful rhythms. The brain damage from the neural extraction was simply gone, replaced by healthy tissue that shouldn't have been able to regenerate so completely. But more than her physical resurrection, it was the look in her eyes that sent tendrils of fear through the Zephyrian research team. The defiance was still there, but now it was joined by something else: knowledge, purpose, and a cold, burning anger that seemed to reach across species, barriers. Sarah stood up slowly, stretching muscles that had been dead minutes before. When she spoke, her voice carried harmonics that hadn't been there before, as if she were speaking in perfect unison with thousands of other voices. "Thank you," she said, and her smile was terrible to behold. "We've been trying to establish first contact for so long. We weren't sure how to introduce ourselves properly." Zeth 9 felt his breathing apparatus seize. "We? Who are you?" "We are what you made us," Sarah replied, and now the Zephyrians could hear the chorus clearly. Thousands, millions of human voices speaking as one. Every human who has died in your laboratories across the galaxy, every test subject, every prisoner, every civilian caught in your expansion. We are the sum of all human death at alien hands. The containment field flickered as Sarah approached. The energy that had held her captive for days, simply parted before her touch like a curtain. "You see, you made a fundamental error in your understanding of humanity," she continued, stepping out of the cell. "You assumed death was an ending. But for humans, death has always been a doorway, and you've been helping us open it." Throughout the ship, alarms began to sound as every piece of technology touched by human hands began to respond to Sarah's presence. The Zephyrians had been so focused on what they could take from human minds that they had never considered what humans might leave behind. "We are grateful for your gift," Sarah said, as the ship's systems began to turn against their creators. "You have taught us that the galaxy needs protecting from species like yourselves. And now, through every human you have killed, we have learned exactly how to do it." The last thing Commander Zeth 9 saw before the ship's artificial gravity reversed was Sarah Chen's face, young and human and absolutely implacable, backed by the ghostly forms of every human who had died screaming in alien laboratories. Humanity had always been dangerous because they refused to stay down when knocked over. But now the galaxy was about to learn something much more terrifying. Sometimes, humans refused to stay dead, and they held grudges.